Hey, beautiful souls. Sonia, Gut Health Naturopath here. Today, I wanted to speak about something that is very important in terms of our gut health and something that may be overlooked if you're not fully aware of your stress levels or how bad they may be. So, where is this coming from? When I was in the building industry, I would have stress every day. I'd have calls from clients, I'd have emails from clients, not always lovely emails and calls. So there was always something that the customer was, upset about through, the building process. And I would, literally hang up the phone or send the email in reply to them and have my lunch. Now, at the time, I wasn't aware of this, but the job itself was consistent stress, right? So, because I was unaware, or I just, you have that, you embrace it as this is the job, this is the stress levels that I have to endure every day. So it was, sort of flying under the radar for me, didn't think anything of it. And then, I would go out to lunch and, well, sometimes I'd stay in for lunch, have a quick lunch, get back to work. So what I didn't realize that I was doing is by staying in that environment and having my lunch, my nervous system was still on fire. So my nervous system was still heightened from the low level stress, then from the incident that just happened. So in that state, you are in a sense of fight or flight because you've just had an encounter. So your heart is racing. You might be a little bit like, this customer, this client. So, when we're in that state of fight or flight, number one, it doesn't take much for us to get into that state, right? So it can be a simple email or a conversation, or just the fact that then we're repeating that scenario to our colleague. Even that replicates a stressful situation or puts us in that state again because we're talking about it. So, even talking about it now, yes, some parts of me get triggered and I'm like, oh, but now I know what to do, right? So what I want you to be aware of is if you are in a stressful job, we don't always have to leave the job. We need to become aware that this job is actually creating this for us. We need to check in throughout the day. We need to see how we feel after a conversation with a colleague, or if you take calls from, customers, clients, suppliers, whatever. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Do you get a bit shaky after a phone call? Or if you're about to call somebody, this is a great sign. If you're about to call somebody, do you get anxious before that call? And you might think to yourself, oh, I don't like doing phone calls. But in reality, it could be just that client that causes this for you. So check in with yourself, see if that happens to you. And there's some tips that I can give you. So let's go back to the eating, because this is what this was supposed to be about in the first place. I do digress. So you've just had that scenario, you're going out for lunch or you're eating in. If you're eating in, you're still in that environment. If you're at your desk, nothing's changed, right? So your body is going to take more time to get to a state of calm, digestion, and just, where your cortisol has come down, where your breath has slowed. It's going to take longer. So in those times, if you cannot get away from the office, your desk, breath exercises are super important. So taking the time, go into the toilet. Just if you've got a back door, go out the back door and just do a few deep breaths where you are literally breathing into your stomach, not just into your lungs. Breathing into our stomach is super important because we're engaging our vagus nerve. Almost forgot what it was called. So we're engaging our vagus nerve when we're breathing deep, when we're expanding our belly. That's what we want to do. Because even during the day in a stressful environment, you'll find that you are shallow breathing. Your breath is very, very short, very sharp. We want to bring that breath back down. We want to engage the vagus nerve. And then what we want to do is a slow breath out. So a very, very controlled, slow breath out. So we're I don't know what the exact word is, but we're doing this with our lips like we're about to whistle, and we're letting it out slowly, right? So that's what we want to do if we cannot get away from, the situation that's just made us in a stressed fight or flight state. If you can get out of the office, that would be optimum. So you can get yourself out of there for your 30 minutes. You can still do the breath work before you eat. And if you can, when you go and eat outside. Regardless, whether it's a sunny day, whether it's an overcast day, get your shoes off, put your feet on grass if you can. If not, doesn't matter, just take your shoes off. Let your body reconnect with the ground. Take a few deep breaths in, the controlled breaths out, reset your nervous system, reset your, rest and digest system. What we call is our nervous system. We want to be in that controlled, in that calm, because then our digestive system works better. Our nervous system is calm. Our digestive enzymes are functioning. The way that we absorb our food is functioning. The way that we break down our food is functioning. So all of those elements are important to gut health, right? So think about it. If you are ever in that state and you've had lunch, nothing unusual, nothing's changed with your lunch, but for some reason you had the runs after it, or you had a massive stomach ache after it. That, my friend, is a massive, massive sign that you were not in a rest and digest state. You actually had yourself in a fight or flight and you were trying to digest. It just doesn't work. So a lot of people that are diagnosed with IBS, they may be presenting with IBS symptoms. However, it comes back to your nervous system. So one thing that I would like you to practice, I invite you to practice this, is eating in a more calm environment. Whether that is simply before you eat, you can do the breath work, or remove yourself from work and go outside. So that would be the optimum, but if you can't do that, of course, start with little steps. So, and another thing that I wanted to mention quickly is don't drink while you're eating. Have a drink, before you're preparing your meal, before you're going out and grabbing your meal, before you go out and do your breath work. Have a drink then, and then once you've sat down with your food, avoid drinking. Drinking will hinder the way that our digestive system works. We want the digestive enzymes that we've prepared while preparing the food, or while, heating our food. We want those digestive enzymes to still be present while we're eating. And the best way to do that is to work on our nervous system before we eat. So, my friend, I hope that this information has been helpful. I would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, any comments, any light bulbs, let me know. I wish you an amazing day. Blessings, my loves.